quick. Yakabibo. I always say Bo, but it's B-O. Yakabio. Yakabio. They sleeping on Solana right now. They sleeping. Hey, I think this one's really tight. Get one that's gonna make everybody mad at you. This one, look at this shit. Got motherfucking turban with the angry shirt, and then of course you got the luscious Caucasian skin with the $200 coming from the top. See, I like Yakabio because it playing both sides. Whether you're brown, or you white, or you yellow, or you light, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna work out for you. It's gonna work out for you over here. So go tap in. Don't worry, as long as you're not in the wrong area sporting this, you'll be fine. There is some risk. Those that know, they know. Those that know, they know. That's why I had to say that with the music over it. What's up, y'all? What up, Sun Station? First in Day Hood. Yes, you are. You're the new usual suspect. What up, Lita? What's up, Knit? 6214. What it do? Hey, what's up, cyberspace? How's it going, YouTube land? This your boy Crypto Bruh, aka More World Peace, the DJ / producer, coming back with another video about the Zen world, about what's going on, and just some things I've observed in the last 24 hours. We stream almost every single day. Lately, it's been every day because there's a lot going on in the network that's actually worth talking about. And something that's fascinating is continuously, because we're in this like we're somewhere where we're not supposed to be. We're actually in a weird space because we're not fitting even into the Zen narrative. Okay. And when you look at it like that, you look at every crypto, and then again you start to notice like actually every single crypto that's existing right now isn't following its narrative from like inception. Like everyone is kind of carrying the baggage of the past. And I mean, you can think whatever you want to think, you know, but this is Crypto Bread channel. This is how I be thinking. I'm on time. What up, Rolando? Welcome to class. Welcome to class. Take out your red notebooks. Just kidding. You can believe whatever you want to believe, man. The game is yours to own how you feel. Again, I think like you can't even trust CoinMarketCap low key because this is ran by Binance. So this is agenda based activities, and that's kind of why, again, like a lot of the research I do and a lot of parallels I try to connect is all going to be based on like what's happening in the space on the chain versus like me reading something, me seeing something. You can't even see shit. Like you would be like, oh, Bitcoin must be number one. It's 60% worth the dominance. And it's like, bruh, like this shit don't make no sense. Actually, this doesn't make any sense. Where's the other dominance piece? Oh, okay, they put other. That's actually pretty nuts. Like when you really put it in perspective, that's kind of crazy that Ethereum is labeled as like this dominant thing that you should look at, right? That's what I'm saying. Like if you do the research and you're really connecting what I was saying yesterday, like some people tell you to do the research. I say research and relate. So do some real R&R, research and relate, because the more you can see everything that's relatable, you'll instantly see the trend. And then all this, it's like you become like crypto woke. You become crypto woke and you're like, oh wait, actually this doesn't make any sense, right? Like right now it makes no sense if you're crypto woke and you know that the XRP narrative is that you don't need to be decentralized to have a blockchain that's affiliated with the banks, right? And another theme that they have is you can make a blockchain with that, you know, that's not real, and people will buy it. So they kind of made. We were saying in our spaces 2 nights ago, the one me and Dank had, about the Zen savings account logic. Your Zen saving account logic. Make sure that you fucking tap in, dude. But when we had that space, one thing we were talking about was like how blocks are like that is the narrative, essentially. And a lot of these cryptocurrencies are using that narrative to sell you a literal story. And these cryptos, they don't give a fuck. Like, they don't care. Because like we were saying in the space, it's about bringing a proof of concept to investors. Because this isn't the very beginning of Bitcoin is where you have organic growth. A bunch of buggies show up in the middle of a field, and then we call ourselves settlers. We settling right here. This is some unclaimed land, right? New idea. That's kind of how I think of Zen. The formula is actually what's so damn new, that it kind of reinvents a flywheel that the game doesn't have. brand new runestone has appeared, a real runestone. And again, we see the signs, right? The Ethereum brought proof of concept that you could do the computer in the sky, and they've been riding that since 2014. Bitcoin brought the proof of concept that you could actually get people to collude in their node sets and set up a personal network, because no one knew how to incentivize it or do it, because we've had a bunch of different types of custom networks. When you look behind the Bitcoin, right? Adam Beck, the mastermind behind the HBO documentary, who's Satoshi with his agenda. Shout out to Adam Beck, I guess. One day maybe I'll meet Adam Beck or something. I don't know. But yeah, or I'm saying Adam Beck. Is it Adam Beck or Adam Back? What's that fool's name? Bitcoin Adam. I think it's kind of funny his name is Adam. I've always thought that the guy behind Bitcoin got Adam Back. It's like Adam's back if you do the whole language thing. Adam Back once CBDC's dead. Dude, this dude has the largest stake in fucking crypto. Wow, he's 54 years old this year. It's weird. Hey, that's a theme. That's a real theme. That is a real theme in numerology right now, 54. So maybe he is on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? If you were there, you were there type shit. If you're close to him type shit. But yeah, see, Adam Back is the CEO of Blockstream. But when Adam Back, and this is history, like, this is history, bro. Bitcoin is about fucking history. I loved history class when I was going to school and whatnot. Because, you know, it's cooler. I mean, people always just be like, you should go to the library, read a fiction book. Go read some science fiction or some shit, right? And I don't know. I just loved indulging in well, how did we get here? Or how did this get created? Like that discovery to me is more fiction than actually reading fiction. Because it's like, wow, they really did that shit. You know, like they really saw something different and innovated. You know, it's the beauty of life, you know. And what's very different, again, Adam Back, he invented Hashcash. Hashcash was a proof of work email system, right? And Hashcash had just like the engine that Bitcoin needed for the peer-to-peer to work, right? Like we had a, like, this is where I'm at with it. I know how this shit was built. Just go get RPow. These are like the two things they put together. Yeah, the Satoshi Nakamoto Institution. So they basically took this proof of work, a reusable proof of work, which like was a way for us to like send this like Yeah, like it was like a hash, like it was a way, or how do you say? Yeah, that's what it is. It's not a send where like today we go, oh, I'm gonna send you some crypto, and you like actually package it into a block and it's sent. In the original crypto world of like understanding in my interpretation of what I am understood, because again, there's no fucking school for this for real. Like we're all just kind of going along with the space age technology as it even evolves, you know. So like our pal used SHA-1, and SHA-1 like was just like SHA-256, but it was less hash intensive, just enough like hash intensiveness for the computers back then to like invent a hash that you could plug in and it be able to be decrypted. And then you could have a private wallet where if I send you the hash in an email, you could drop it in and see that I did XYZ transaction or XYZ hash. You know, the whatever the fuck I say I'm doing, you can see I'm doing it. Right? Reusables. And then this is where it's at. It's like, oh, now I can have this key and reuse my identity so that people can see the hashes I have. And then that's how you get, in my opinion, that's where we get the private key in like the array of wallets, or like how we think of a wallet, like what, because you know they have like the UTXO and Bitcoin. So they're really trying to figure out how do we make a universal version of the hash, so they could represent other things, but they never could really break out of the Bitcoin because it wasn't designed for that. Like the infrastructure of Bitcoin was proof of concept that we could join. We could put what Hal Finney made and what Adam Back made together to produce a network. This network called Bitcoin. And then if people jump on the network, as more people join, difficulty rises, it gets harder to get, and then they cap the supply at 21 million. That's all Bitcoin is. You just got the whole pitch. They took this, and they took this, and then they used somebody with no face and say, here you go. Oh yeah, they also use Nick Szabo's BitGold. So yeah, yeah, you can go further back from our pal if you want to go way back to kind of get like where how Finney got here. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the history of why you like crypto. You probably don't give a fuck. You're like, yo, where the green candle at, bro? I don't give a fuck about this, right? And that's what I'm saying. They had to they were in the lab working on UX so that you today can be crying over a red candle. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did. Nobody gave a fuck. I'm sorry. Let me sip some of this. Yeah, what up, Dank? Dank in the house. But yeah, I have a feeling they didn't know what they were really doing. They were just putting everything together because it's just one like computer science is one massive group, and everybody is at the most fundamental level of concept. So like that's why the concepts that we were talking about in the space, like that Zen has right now, are very strong. And people will be able to do what I just did, right? Like if I really want to know how it works, this is the power of open source. And this is the power of Bitcoin, right? Imagine liberating yourself because you want to go and learn how Bitcoin was made. And then you get to this part where you see the engine, where you're like, where the engine really comes together. Like, oh, you know, they had the private key with the computers because it was email, right? And then that was what they had. They had a small group of users who didn't like email spam because you were getting spammed out of control. Like somebody would I wasn't there. I was a kid. I guess I was there, but I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I remember my parents always being like, oh my God, I got to make a new email. Because they would get kicked like with spam because you would be in the mall. Like I remember that too. Like my mom would be in the mall And then somebody would run up on her and be like, can I get your email? Can I get your email? And then like before she was educated that like you don't just give your email to someone in the mall for like a giveaway. Like, you know, I'm gonna give you a cruise. Like, I just need your email. Right? We still live in a world where motherfuckers still try to. Yeah, I feel that's like a dead practice. Why I'm not to hate, but like in America, you only see immigrants doing that shit. Like, or you see people who are collecting emails. Like I like known them before. Like maybe you're collecting emails. Like really think about it. Next time you're collecting the emails because you didn't know, like, oh shit, I'm in the middle of some bullshit. Yeah, just look around and start to really see how you're just another dot in a bigger system. Collecting emails. So Hashcash was a neutralizer for that specific target audience, I guess you could say. It was a better UX. I also like to say, like the user experience of, oh, cool, I can have an email and nobody spam me. And then you would pay per email. So like when somebody would open up the email, that's when you would get your money. Or like that's when you would pay the computer, right? So it's like that's the economy in Hashcash was I'm gonna hash you an email, and then we're gonna have a middle computer confirm that we both got it right, A and B, and then C in the middle saying everything is working. And then when me and you are done talking, we're gonna give C Hashcash and close and destroy the email. So then there's no spam, and then there's no email, and then the server was paid for, right? Instead of the server being Google or Yahoo. So this is all that they really took apart. Like again, you just take apart the engine, and instead of it being Hashcash and instead of it being an email, now it's just Bitcoin, or it's the SHA-256, known as a Bitcoin, rather than a SHA-1 known as an RPOW. Or today, see, and then it goes, or today, which is an XEN or an Argon 2. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it's in its relationship to like the Bitcoin world. Is the hash is just the name is just a placeholder for your brain, because your brain doesn't really know how to comprehend what the fuck is really happening. Don't worry, the builders are building. Their builders are building. That's why XEN is next level, because when their UX is X1. So like, imagine how many people are really gonna understand XEN when it's on X1 chain, and then they go down the rabbit hole to be like, oh, where does this spawn from? And then you see Argon 2, you see passwords. You could go deeper, like, okay, this is like Bitcoin. You see SHA-256 again, and then that's what I mean. You're gonna eventually end up back here, and that's why it's so sound. There's too many like tokens in the crypto space and shit that like really be super far away from someone doing the groundwork to be like, wow, they really brought that concept to life. Proof of concept. There's a lot of people that talk about it, they write it down, you feel me? But they don't really bring proof of the concept to to existence, or they're like doing it in live time, like Ethereum. That's why I'm like disappointed in ETH, because I didn't know we were moving in that type of environment, right? When you fuck with Solana, I think that was a really smart move on Solana's part. So Solana is in beta. This isn't actually 1.0. It's a beta 2.0, I think. Yeah, it says a mainnet beta. So Solana itself is still in beta. So and that's why I'm like, yo, they really thought about everything UX that again Ethereum just couldn't think about, because they were redoing Bitcoin, but they're an app. ETH is more of an application to Bitcoin than it is a blockchain versus Bitcoin, right? It's like Bitcoin works best on ETH, and vice versa. They both can do this. They both move slow now. It's like, oh, I'll use Bitcoins on Ethereum, but would you use Ethereum on Bitcoin? Probably not. So Ethereum is not backwards compatible, if you want to put it in that perspective. That shit cannot, it cannot go backwards. It can only go forwards, which is Bitcoin coming onto it. And that's like another problem. drainer. We're gonna drain from it. But again, so what Solana's doing is they're moving in real time, making concepts on concepts, and now they have the apps. I saw Pump Fund came out with an app today. Y'all. I said it's hard out here for a pimp when he's trying to get the money for the rent. It's all the fucking people in crypto. But look at this. 2 hours ago, Pump Fund introducing Pump Fund mobile app, the best way to trade all memes on Solana. So, I'm gonna show you another thing. It's coming to the surface because everybody's doing the research and going backwards, and we're all in the same space and time. Nobody has a fucking advantage, unless you're Jack Levin. And for some, I see where Jack got his advantage from, and I see where Tolly got his advantage from. Right? Just like how Satoshi got his advantages. Right? Whoever is Satoshi, they saw these two systems and said they don't know. They don't know. Hey, they don't know. And they're just like, oh, we about to put this shit out, and they're gonna be like, oh, we didn't know, you know? And then bam, here comes Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin has a test phase era, right? Satoshi minted a million coins. And then he sent them to Hal Finney. And then Hal Finney started running Bitcoin. 2009, before there was any market. So nobody else, feel me? Like, it's not like they built up like real, or how do you say it? Like in today's crypto, we building up anticipation towards something because that's all that's left. Like this is mainstream. We made it already. Like, you don't need to bring in the nerds. You can create new nerds. And you got GPT. So that's what I was saying. Jack is a funny character to me because it's almost like he was like, yo, I ain't got no devs. I'm gonna go make some devs. And then I'm going to enrich them so they want to keep deving, rather than like a blockchain, like a Solana, who's only attracting devs looking for grants. Right. And then that's why I like to think of this analogy of like taking your time, nurturing something, and really saying, we have to do this. Like we have to do this. We cannot skip any steps. It's gonna be a long, confusing road. But that's why, again, I'm under the impression now that this was a well organized push that now we can understand what the higher level, or I don't know how to really explain it, but like if a Xenian wanted to take on the next era of crypto, because we're gonna have to keep going. Like, I think of it all the time where it's like there's gonna be a day everybody's cheering, but at the end of the cheering, you know, it's like, all right, the job ain't finished. You know, because it's gonna outlive us. So like it's one of those things where like you're gonna want to retire from the game essentially, because the job will never be finished. Things will only be getting faster. Systems will only need to be getting more robust. And people, again, that understand how to put it together will always be racing to find the next formula, the next thing that innovates, I guess you could say, convenience, human convenience. It's kind of what we're all striding for within the UX. You just want to sit on the couch and click a button. You figure out that fucking formula, bro, and you get your name in the stalls. Oh, what's up, Mind, Body, and Crypto? What it do? What up, Samson? Samson. No wonder they didn't record the spaces. And who doing what? Record what? What up, EW? What up? What up? Let's fucking hash. It was all over the place. I never even explained what he meant. Either way, he wants to launch on X1, so that's good for him, or good on him. He knows where the future is. Yeah. Oh, was you talking about something that happened in the space? For sure. But like, yeah, like people know where they're trying to go, but they don't know that how do you say this? Like we're like the last Mohicans on the blocks, And that's why I'm saying like it's gonna be so lost in the future. Kind of like how I learned about how bank bonds were invented, and I was like, damn, if only I was born in the 1920s, man. Like, fuck, why was I born in 91? Right? It's almost as if like crypto is like my bank bond or whatever. If you're a millennial, you know, crypto is your fucking piece of real estate in the realm or whatever you want to call this place. But you got to really, again, you got to go back to how it started so you can understand where they're pulling the pieces from to understand if it's really going to work. Because everybody's looking for a proof of concept every single day, 24 hours, 24/7, right? And this dude, I actually mistaken him for Wei Dai. I started following him because he made a bunch of crypto posts and his name Wei Dai, and I was like, oh, is this the Wei Dai that Gwei is named after? And then one day he corrected me. It was like, I stop tagging me. Like I'm not the guy that Gwei's named after. I'm just got the same name. I felt all bad and shit. But he's a dope dude, so I just like, fuck it, man. I'm gonna keep following you because you be posting logical shit about crypto. And lately he's been getting even more critical. Then I saw this post from him today, and I was like, man, Wei, you throwing shots. And I didn't even know Tolly followed his ass, unless this got so much popularity, it got to Tolly. But yeah, what's happening here is Solana has just so much better throughput for what is being built in this future. I was going through it with my Grok. So what I had done, and let's just check this out. Like I'm gonna put it into perspective for you real quick on like how big this shit is. So I like told Grok, you know, I have a friend who's a computer scientist and he just got into crypto. All the token formulas, all his token formulas or project game theories are based on users being the difficulty. Okay, so if you haven't realized that yet in Zen, everything that's been released, you battle yourself as the difficulty. And I haven't been able to, even the internet, because I like using Grok because it's using a really big database of a lot of different ideas. But even the internet, if we think Grok is the internet, never seen anything like this, or I'm not saying the right formula of words, so it could be like, oh yeah, of course that's exactly what was happening here, right? We're like both trying to discover how to explain this. Because what's crazy is when you really put it into like that perspective, that you're your difficulty, which is a fact. The G rank is a difficulty. Here we gotta go. I guess we gotta go here. So to start with Zen, the difficulty in Zen, the true difficulty in Zen is the G rank. Now that we're here, and gas is no longer part of this story. Right? Maybe it comes back, but let's just upgrade our worldview since Ethereum is doing the same, right? Ethereum is making it feel as if it's going to be sub 50 Gwei. Okay. And yeah, you should be angry. How dare Ethereum drop the fees after I made a bunch of G ranks for XYZ amount of money? Right, that's on the blockchain. That has nothing to do with Zen. Like your beef is with Vitalik, not with Jack, because Vitalik had business logic on his blocks, and now he just decided to remove it. Everybody is the same on all of these chains. When Zen came out, it came out when they had the maximum amount of business logic on their chain, so that they could either feed the VCs or feed their pockets. Right, and now you go to Zenmon, right? That's the leading theme in Zen right now. You go to Zenmon and you go, damn, gas is still pretty low across the board. Everywhere I go. People want to know, right? You can't find no information about none of these motherfucking chains, which is also a mind freak. Every morning I wake up, I try to find the storage on base and I cannot find it. Because that means you need to run a node if you want that extra special shit. And I want to see how large their disk is expanding. I would love to get the disk spec on base right now. Because essentially they have infinite disk space. So they can offer low fees for a long time, but eventually that's what's going to fuck them. So I'm very curious to how they're managing the disk space on fucking base. And I cannot find anything on it. They don't talk about that shit on the internet, which is fine. It's like XENblocks. Like if you want to really get into XENblocks, you can't just go to the internet and be like, hey, internet, how the fuck do I be good at Zen and XENblocks? Like you got to dive in, right? And I'm fine with that. You know, if that's how they play in the game, you know, big ups to base. All I know is Zen is there. They're increasing their gas. They got money for it. That's what it says to me. So I'm going to be there raising the G rank. But again, that's my personal decision. Some other people might feel lied to because they spent a lot of money on these chains, and these chains, this might be your new normal. AVAX went to 1 and they were at 25. Binance went to 1 and they were on fluctuation. Polygon is always been cheap, but it looks like they're moving side by side with Base now, to be honest. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've noticed that they've been moving kind of together. As Base goes up, Polygon goes up. And, you know, that could be something they've developed where they want to be competitive with others. So I would also maybe put like an arbitrage piece of software into the software to arb gas on other networks to stay competitive. Right. And that's why, again, we got to eliminate the gas fees because it's too nasty. There's too much biz nasty logic that goes into the fee. And it hurts the users. It hurts the UX. Right. Now you got to think about that shit. But again, that's what I'm saying. In Zen, we exposed it. That's the proof of concept. All the blocks are fucking bullshit. Every single blockchain, they put logic on top of it. You can try to make a block at XYZ time, and you'll make a block again at XYZ time, and you're going to be at the mercy of the chain, regardless to whatever anybody does. And then you're going to have base chain, again, who's going to have some sort of resource, which we don't know because they won't tell us, but it makes sense because it's centralized. It's like the mindfuck of it all. It's like, oh, they won't tell us, but it's public. But it's like, okay, yeah, it's proprietary because it's fucking centralized. So like, of course, they're not gonna tell us their fucking game on the storage. But yeah, whatever they're using for storage is so fascinating to me because we killed EVMOS. And EVMOS, that's what I mean. EVMOS didn't have the money to upgrade. That's all that was. And we haven't tapped into anybody else. When I looked at Fantom stores storage a little different, but now I think Fantom is in it's like a hard network to talk about because they did almost too much business logic on their fucking chain. Like the business logic on Fantom is why you have a higher G rank, right? Zenians worked harder on Fantom and made less Zen. That's how you actually should look at that proof of concept. That's what I mean. I'm beating home this fucking G rank, bro. That's all you got to talk about. People can shut the fuck up about like Zen going down forever. You got to remove the G rank, and we removing blockchains. That's the only way the G rank gonna disappear. The whole fucking chain gotta go. You feel me? It ain't the contract. It's the chain. The chain finito. All right. And that's how we know it. This is all bogus. Everything is bogus. Again, EVMOS number 2. Right? 256 million G rank broke the disk. Disk fried. Right? Because that's the storage. That's the memory of the Zen world. It couldn't handle it after 256. Like, why would you want to go back there? Like, I don't understand. Yo, Zen is the weirdest thing. People get used and abused, and then they just go back. Like, I guess I'll go back, you know? I just got beat up a whole bunch by that chain, but for some reason, I need to pull the fuck back up, you know? But no, understand the G rank. There's no resistance to get to the chain, which means you're going to fill the disk. That's the problem that we talked about at the beginning of Zen. Then again, this is our proof of concept where we can drill it home that the design, the infrastructure is bad on EVM. Like, I'm not just saying that shit because I feel that way. I can literally see it and articulate it. And then it gets to a point where the debate is no longer a debate. It's just I heard it looks like this. We got to see till it comes out. And that's why that is dead in the grass now. Everything is dead, dog. Is Zen X1. That's it. The most upside, the most uptime is. What are you waiting for, right? I know. Again, not everybody watches the Crypto Bro channel. So, yo, if you are here, make sure you hit the like, the subscribe button. Free alpha for now. Who's here? Oh, I need to pause. Oh, that's why this shit's all rocky, because I got a video playing. Oh, Tree City West pulled up. What's up, Tree? Don't tell my wife. Valentine. My Valentine is X1. Hey, yo, my bad. Hey, make sure, yeah, everyone should have given their significant other, I like you, but I like X1. That'll be the Valentine cards next year or some shit. X1's not even real, man. Nah, it's real as fuck. But yeah, somebody would come up and literally tell you that right now. Yo, X1 is not real. 184 nodes, 181 block producers. See, I had got on this this whole like mental concept again, like what we were talking about in that space about, and I'm trying to kind of drill that home right now, is the proof of concept in technology is what you pitch. Okay, like that's what's in the pitch deck. Y'all already got that shit. All right, my guy Axel Zensu, he put it in this fucking doc right here. Everything you need to know is right here. It's so funny. We all clowned him because it was like 74 minutes, but that's why, you know, Simple had to print that shit out. Because it's real. If you go, you can read. I've already read this like 3 times, but this is the concept that Zen broke all the blockchains, and X1 is gonna rise from those flaws, right? This is what we discovered across all the chains, and that's why, again, yo, if you love Zen because you're just like, I'm in love with it. That's so funny. We're here, yo. The meme is fucking February 14th, Friday. But now the meme of the week was the emotion, right? Just get in motion. Get in motion. You know, drop the E and get in. All right. Hey, that's a fire ass slogan too for X1. I'm about to coin that shit. Drop the E and get in. You need to get online. Dank said that one too. He said when America got online, they put disc like all around and everywhere you could just access it, and you got free time to get online. And that's kind of like X1 right now in the concept of distribution. And this is why I'm here now. Like your distribution in Zen is all it's supposed to be, but you're gonna fall in love with the process because it's so fucking fair. And you've never interacted with anything like this. And the problem we're all going to run into with our Zen is the theory that these chains might not be able to outlast the Zen, you know? So it does make a lot of sense for these chains to kind of get absorbed, right? Because that's where I'm at with it. Like, if Zen is continuously made on these chains because it's free range, and the activity stops. So this is the next proof of concept that isn't written yet. When we look at the prices and we killed, like I said, we killed Eve Moss. The only reason it's here is because they turned back on the contract, and now you can kind of make it. And some people have gone over there and they're starting to play around with it. But the problem, right? It's like this is what's going to happen, right? Or this is what's already happening. Zenians that know how to get there are going to only be the motherfuckers there. It's not going to be the mass adoption. You are it, because no one's going to go and put money into Evmos to do more, even if the G rank is an opportunity, which it isn't. Because again, if you know their chain, you know they don't have the space to even handle 2xing the G rank, so you're never gonna make as much Zen that was made before. So the best game is the buy, sell, and trade game rather than the hash game, right? And then when I was looking at Fantom, because this is why I was saying the system is broken. Fantom has a higher G rank, and yeah, you could say like, oh, they burned a bunch of the coins. So it's like, but why did it stop? Like, we're in hyperinflation. Like, it should keep going. Like, what are you telling me? All the Polygon fools are really just holding on to their coins, and or maybe we are in the Twilight Zone, right? Maybe we're in the Twilight Zone where the Fantom crew has been able to burn 100 trillion more Zen than the Polygon crew. But you see, like, the margin is just too finite for me to be like, I mean, and yeah, look at the active stakes. I guess you could say the active stakes also maybe pumped it a little bit more. Nah, okay, yeah, you have active minters are up and more than the G rank. I mean, more than the. So what I'm trying to get at is Fantom's active minters are less than Polygon's active minters, and they were still able to make more G ranks with smaller BMU sizes. Like, everything doesn't make sense. Like, it's a 45 fucking VMUs per max mint. So it's like, what in the fuck? Like, they were able to, they made a nuclear core of Zen inside of Fantom. Right? And we and this is why it made a lot of sense for Jack and them to be like, yeah, we need to fork Fantom, because if this is the best tech of today that can handle the most data, right, the most disk space and still function, because Fantom was working fine, it never went down, right? Fantom didn't become shifty until you looked into their consensus, which then leads, you know, that's the value when you get out of this whole like, oh, we making a fun token, and you want to start sampling the blockchain again. You know what I'm saying? You want to put the values together. You want the hash cash and the RPow together so you can make the fucking Bitcoin, right? You need to make sure your base, the base, right, is solid. And that's why, you know, Fantom saw we were going to make something better than them. I'm going to keep saying it. They canceled cultured X1 when they realized we were fucking better than them. Ooh, cancel culture. And then what else? Like, I just noticed right now, because I was in the spaces earlier, and I heard some Zenians like, oh, I'm going to talk about this, but I heard some Zenians like talking about Fantom. So then I was like, you know what? I got some Fantom. I need to like go look at it real quick. And then I dug into the whole Fantom thing, because I haven't done it in a long time. And what I had noticed, this is like what I noticed. I said, damn, Fantom really let us blow up their chain with our hashing game just for them to rug pull everyone. When you think about burning Fantoms in, you need FTM, but the team has rugged it. I mean, yeah, you can swap one way to Sonic, but now you can't get more FTM to burn FM Zen, right? Without jumping loops. This shit hit me this morning, because I'm like, yo, holy shit. Like, if people keep trying to like this is dead space. You feel me? Like, do you see where I'm going with this? Like, Fantom was such a dead space. Bad biz nasty logic. They exited on everybody. They said, if you're gonna go with this, come with this. Because that's what I think of a one-way go, right? Now, Zen, what you do is you burn, just like the same idea, but it's not like Fantom. Like, the Fantom is the blockchain, so you burned away from the ledger. When you move out of FTM, you get away from the Opera ledger, and then what else fucked my head up? Have you ever gone to Fantom's what is this shit? Their Twitter page? They blocked everybody from the Twitter page, and they telling you migrate FTM. So like, this to me, man, thumbs down. Thumbs down. You're gonna get trapped in that motherfucker, because like that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna be looking for FTM to fucking get out, and then you're gonna have to OTC with their fucking thugs. And it's just because you have purified block space, and they don't give a fuck, because you ain't got no FTX or FTM. Like, how you gonna get it? You can't make it. You can't, it's not backwards compatible, right? Like, no, because no one's going back. No one's going that way. They got to rewrap it and you're fucked, right? That's what I'm saying. ETH like I feel it, but like that native is what fucks the XEN, which kills the chain. So there's two already, and then you also got a Doge chain. They cut us off, OKX, right? And that's why I'm like, yo, okay, that's a trend now. That's 100% a trend. Some of these chains might actually benefit from buying XEN right now and stopping people from making G-Rings. But then it's also kind of weird again, right? Because let's say an exchange came in like Binance and said, fuck it, we're going to buy up all the XEN. Or I don't know, they would have to do something to try to mitigate the disk space. Because again, this can't take on the attention it's about to take on without fucking eating alive Binance. Or you know what I'm saying? That's why it's like you want to dream big with a side chain XEN. But the problem you're going to be faced with is the chain. Like, will the chain accept this thing that's supposed to eat it alive? And if it doesn't, they're going to manipulate it heavy so that you have a difficult time having fun. And it's all in the name of bad business logic. You know what I'm saying? Biz nasty logic, man. There's 100% proof of concept that every chain is just for business. And they're really bad at business. That's why we haven't gotten off the ground. That's why they fudded fucking Solana. Made sure nobody got in at $8. Made sure nobody got in. It's a VC chain. Remember that whole it's a VC chain. Right? Don't get into Solana. It's centralized. It's a VC chain. Remember that was like XEN too. Like XEN's got no VCs. Like it's living the first principles. You know, and I mean, that's literally what every chain up until now, like now you couldn't say some shit like that. You know, people want the VC chain. That's why all the layer 2s are popping up, because they benefit the investor more than they benefit the users. Right. We're like, it's all in your face. It's up to you to understand, bro. And again, I don't want to get caught on a dead side chain after X1 chain. Another thing I was thinking about was the thing is you could, if you could get, or this is what I'm at with it. If you have Fantom, FTM, now you need to ask yourself, is it smarter for me to buy XEN knowing what just Crypto Bro just said? Like, this is a really hard coin to get. This is probably the hardest XEN coin to get. And you already know the idiots are going to try to get there, because they just got to figure it. They're going to have to figure it out. And when everything is pumping and FM XEN is just mooning, because you can't get the FTM, and then you can't get, what do you call it? You can't make more XEN than is already existing, because the G rank is hyper inflated. Because again, no one's, to say the G rank is going to rise on Fantom is to ask the question, where does the FTM come from? Right. And if nobody is going to come up like I've got a whole bunch of FTM, I'll keep making G ranks, then that shit is capped. Like, okay, no one's making G ranks. So there's not going to be much inflation unless you're staking. Right. Then XEN is the only way to create XEN. So then this is what I mean. Like, Fantom XEN right now, today, really is exposing to me the future of eating a chain alive. Like, this is the proof of concept of that. Like, it's happening right in front of our face. They abandoned ship on this fucking chain, dog. They threw away the admin keys. That's crazy. Like they basically telling the Xenians to CTO this shit if we want it to work for our X1 chain. That's how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, we came to dinner. They invited us to dinner. As soon as we sat down and they saw we could pay for the bill, and they were hyped up about, oh, I got some clout. I'm about to get off this person, like, oh, I brought them in for the photo op. I'm going to pay the bill. I got the funds, right? They came in with that energy, and now look at them. They're not here. They're nowhere to be found, bro. Where you at, Fantom? And everybody there dumped this shit to the bottom. Oh my God. This shit got no, but what is kind of crazy is it has a $92,000 market cap. Imagine if this was like the real CTO of this like layer. That was my joke after my post here. I was like, this can only go two ways. People with a lot of FTM should inject their token into XEN. This way we can CTO the entire Fantom Opera chain. Just making an honorary X1 layer 2. I mean, I have no time, but that's essentially what could happen right now. Like, it's like, yo, you could just come and just CTO it and then hijack it, fork it, and then make XEN the fucking native coin for the set of nodes that fork from this Fantom shit. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to save the dev block space because people put money in. You should be furious. Y'all should be pissed the fuck off. Y'all should be throwing shit at the Fantom Foundation after me figuring this out. That's how brain dead all the Xenians are. Just getting fucked in the ass and they just don't even know it. And y'all inflated the shit out of the fucking G rank on Fantom. So like now it really don't make no sense to spin the flywheel. So you are 100% out of loss. Like the only way you're winning is if you have enough FTM to burn for X1 chain when the gas goes up with their small amount of fucking nodes. I was seeing I'm hating hard on Fantom right now, but they are the dunce of the day. They are the dunce of the day. Oh yeah, so what you do is if you go to look at Fantom, yeah, it's too easy to pick on Fantom right now. It is way too easy. They got the dunce cap of the day. But it's only a dunce cap for people who don't like me. I have like 5 FTM. I'm fucked, dude. I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna run out of FTM. That's why I came to that conclusion. I was like, how the fuck am I gonna get this coin if you can't go backwards? I'm like, shit. Someone. Well, I guess if I run it, if I that's what I mean. If I join the quorum of validators on Fantom, then I can get some FTM from being a validator if there's people still using the chain. So, you know, if people, that's what I mean. If people are still going to use this side, this opera thing, Zen is going to live. Oh, they got it. Oh, shit. The biggest wallet of Fantom Zen is fucking MXC. That's pretty fascinating. Shit, they hold 68% of the supply. Oh, my God. Yo, this, oh, my God. What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? I can't even comprehend that shit. Why do y'all root for this coin? All right, man. If you root for Fantom, you get the dunce cap of the day too, bro. What the fuck? This shit, I mean, unless you got your Fantom inside of here, which I guess is kind of good. But you see what I mean? The exchange already beat you to the punch. They beat all the Xenians. Fantom shit is dizzy. Actually, fuck it, man. I can't even say that shit. This is why I like CB Zen. It just goes right back to it. CB Zen is literally the clone copy, cheap version of Zen. The realest one you're gonna find. Everything else is just Fantom. You're just like you're just in love with Zen's actions, and you got coins over there, but you're not thinking about the future because you're not thinking outside the box, essentially. And now you're gonna bring a lot of people with you into this desert. Yeah, like if you chill in a desert, you might want to quit and just move on to where there's gonna be users. I think like Binance Chain is a desert. Fantom for sure is a desert, and the way that you can see is when you go tap into the chain. That's why I would think that people who run nodes on Binance would want BZen to give them profit. So if I'm a node runner on BSC Binance chain, I want to tell everybody, let's collude and keep Zen alive so that there's a pulse on our chain for fees. And it's really just going to come down to the nodes, whether or not they want to allow Zen to eat them alive. And if they want to join the gang, or if they want to be, again, like I'm saying, like they're going to exit out with, they're going to sell this to zero because they have more resources than you. There's no reason to go head to head with them because you know what I'm saying? Like we'll come in, we'll shock them a little bit. It'll be like a meme. Like we're going to come into BNB, hella motherfucker, like X1 burn auctions are here. Everybody's floating around every single chain and shit. Again, that's what I mean. We're such a good proof of concept that everyone's already ready to move around every single chain. They've been waiting 2 years to do this shit, right? And they're gonna spike gas. They're gonna move everything around. If you're a VC, you want to be in crypto before this happens because this is gonna be a massive event, right? We're building this shit up, and that's why I'm coming to these conclusions. Where now I'm like, yo. Yeah, we totally killed EVMOS and they try to stay alive. And we see what that looks like. They do not have a proof of concept. Their shit is broke, and it broke because of the disk. So we know if someone tries to stay alive, that's what they're going to really suffer from is the disk. Because if they can hodl the disk, which Fantom had a really good time doing, or an easier time doing, probably because of the DAG, it was able to. Also, you don't have they don't have really big blocks, so they probably have smaller entries on the disk, which allows them to have more entries, right? More G ranks. And that's why, again, I'm like, you see XEN here, and XEN is Polygon, and we know Polygon is VC funded. So that's why I'm like, oh, XEN could be a really good Zen if Polygon is pro X1, which it feels like they're supporting it very well, right? There's never been anybody talking about Polygon don't work. There was only that one infra moment we found out that they have bad RPC infra on Polygon because they centralized that part. So that's why I'm like, okay, see, Polygon working with Zen, they want us to be there. They want us to consume their chain. That helps them, escape. They're the smartest one so far to be like encouraging it, like yeah, like come through, like blow up the G rank, fuck it, we got you, we can support this, we'll raise the gas. I think they rose the gas over there for the xeNFTs. I forget the story, but that's a good story question to ask Jack, like does he remember what the Polygon situation was, because xeNFTs is what pretty much broke Polygon. But again, they came back, and look at it sitting down here when you look at price at number 12. But I know some whales over there. I know some motherfucking whales, so do whatever you want. But yeah, Polygon's a really good one. XEN. And then see VVZen, if we really get down into the dumps of what it is, right? Now that we know, you're dealing with ETH.POW, right? And you have to ask yourself, do people go to ETH.POW, right? And I've been, I like it. Shout out to ETH.POW that's in the chat. That's the one, right? There's some people out here, and thank God they're Zenians. That's kind of how I'm interpreting this. Like a Zenian on an ETH and on a Ethereum EVM or whatever. That's like a Bitcoiner on EVM. But back in the day, like when a Bitcoiner was on EVM in 2017, you felt hella comfortable because you're like, oh, cool. If a Bitcoiner gets it, then and they got like bag and a lot of people trust them, like I must be in a good space. So that's kind of like Ethereum POW. There's a bunch of Zenians that still believe in Ethereum POW and they mine Ethereum POW. Right? 190 million G rank right below Pulse Chain. So that's what I mean. If you say in Pulse Chain has users, you can't deny that ETH.POW doesn't, because they're right below Pulse Chain. And the ones on the top, these three are the most, because of the G rank, they're the most, how do you say, like, I don't really know how to put it. Like, I don't want to say like discrepancy, because they're not really a discrepancy, but like they've come to those crossroads, like they've seen some shit. I seen it. Like that's what these three chains on the top are. The other ones are just gas based concepts that fucked them. These ones really broke. Polygon's RPC really broke. We fucked their checkpoint up. They wasn't ready for an NFT blow up. RIP. Right? And that's why Doodles left Polygon. So Polygon's grabbed. That's why, yo, I wouldn't be surprised if Polygon's already like, let's just let X1 eat us alive. They'll burn all the fucking Polygon coins. We'll keep the validators running, and we'll get rich because they're gonna burn all the coins. I mean, it's great business logic. I'd switch to that biz nasty right the fuck now if I had the Zen coin on my chain. Like, yo, just go. Hey, yeah. Put Zen on the front page and tell those motherfuckers to pump the G ring. Because you got to, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you discover, oh, they got to really do it. And they got to put the whole energy of the chain in to do it, bro. That's the next wave. So, yeah, if you're minting right now, you're setting yourself up for the craziest hyperinflation, like the last wave of it, which is at the end of 26, I think. Which makes a lot of sense. If Zen had a really giant wave of inflation before 2027, and then, like I was saying, on Ethereum, that's the natural break on the AMP because we'll be below 1500. So that'll be the natural break. And then from there, it would really be an intuition game for new people seeking. And Zen can go again. And that's why it's fire. It's like every year there's going to be a reason for it to send after X1. So the reason why I got to this today too, like really like understanding like our trying to be more critical on distribution, right? Because that's what we're doing. We're distributing Zen coins on 13 different EVMs so that they can be burned into X1 chain as an emission coin for the native coin on the other side, right? And again, that's what I'm saying. That process of turning Zen or turning Polygon into Zen into XNT, that is the bridge. That is the transfer of value. Polygon, Zen XNT. And the G rank is the governor. It is or it's the president or whatever. It's the ultimate Lord Yakabu. It says Yakabu right here. G rank, nothing bigger than that shit. All right. So anybody can do what they want with this thing. As staking goes down over time, this is why Zen is weird. Like it's gonna eat chains alive until it starts to eat itself, right? Zen eventually will eat itself when the APY goes to 2, and then people are staking every day to compound 2% interest, or they're staking 1,000 days to get 1,000 days worth of 2% interest. So that's the game further down the road, right? That's what I'm saying. Like the 27 game is gonna be, we do it again, but you gotta be here, and you gotta have G ranks. So you gotta keep minting. You gotta go through the storm. You gotta go and tell people on Polygon to throw it all in, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you're on Fantom, you're fucked. If you're on EVMOS, high key, you're fucked. Like you might as well just quit the like rally the troops. If you're on post chain, this is where I question, do they really fuck with Zen over there? Bruh, bridge no needed, only burn. Keep up with the G rank game master. Yeah, that's what I mean. You got to keep up with the G rank master. Whoever's going to do that. If you want to use that chain as a value, you get me? Like you could be there. Get there now, right? Like get there before X1 so you're part of the pump. But this is just the alpha for post pump. All right, post pump, everything's fucking trash. I already know it's trash, but post pump, everything is really trash. And that's what I mean. People are gonna leave post chain for X1, and they're not gonna do it through Zen. They're gonna do it on their own accord. They're going to do it on their own accord, and they're going to do it by turning the PLS into XNT. And that's bad for post chain price. So if you're in post chain, you wouldn't want that shit. You would want to curve it right now. Right? And that's why I'm thinking, okay, that's the biggest curve you could ever do to your chain. Get people into Zen so they burn the PLS while you hold the fucking position in the validator. Because you know that the chain sucks and you can't scale. So you might as well scale with X1. Because Jack Levin dropped the fucking the token on the chain. right? And you can see no one's making it. Look at the G rank over here. It sucks. Like it goes up, right? But it's just the same people. You need new people to come in. That's the whole point. You gotta you gotta become the game master of the G rank. You gotta go and rally the troops. You gotta say, hey, we going to 500 million. Everybody gotta cheer. Yeah. And if you can't articulate that or feel the passion of why you gotta do that, you're not the one, you're not the Moses to bring to bring it to the top. And your chain is probably gonna fail. And I mean, I'm not trying to hate or nothing. I'm just trying to keep it 100%, because like that's what the crossroad would be when you get there with a bag full of Zen and you're trying not to burn it all to leave that world for X1, which is going to be 100% a 360 from where you're standing. You feel me? Like, and that's why I like Base, because I think, again, I see Base has funding. You know, Base is actually the youngest chain out of all the Zen chains, right? Base launched a year later. It would have been on the same level as Optimism, but Optimism had the counter go down very quickly, right? The AMP went down in a year. So technically Optimism is just showing, Optimism is a simulation to show you what Zen looks like in 2029. It's the proof of concept of 2029. And that's why another reason I don't really talk about it, because it's the proof of concept of 2029. So you need, like, you're gonna need hella people to come to, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna pump hard as fuck, because they're gonna bring 2029 to the chart at some point, because there's no Zen there, so it's too easy to pump. You get me? But after X1 chain, after the pump, that's all it was, the proof of concept of what happens to Zen after the AMP goes to 1. Like, there's no real reason to go over there and be like, let's pump the G rank. Like, you could do it, but what are you doing it for? You get what I'm saying? Like, you're as bad as the blockchains just spinning transactions to act as if there's something happening. You feel me? Like, that's another thing that Zen is trying to teach the game. Like, we don't need flywheel applications. We just need better UX, right? And right now what we're getting is the UX of the rails to X1. And I got you. Don't worry. Okay. So remember, I was going in and saying, yo, you're the difficulty. Everything in Zen, you are the difficulty. If you want to have more tokens, you have to bring on more people. That action makes it harder to make Zen, but it helps you because you're ahead of them, essentially. Right? I can make 500 G ranks, bring 50 people, and one day and tell them to only make 10 or 1, and then bring another 50, tell those to make 1, bring another 50, tell those to make 1, and then that's how I'm like, that's what I mean. The people will fabricate the G rank in the future with their own agenda. And we have proof of that on OPZen. That's why I think OPZen is a pop in the ideology of going long. I go long and I want to find a Zen on a side chain that's going to last forever if it can. So I want to find the one again that's going to withstand the disk failure, because they're all going to fail based on disk. The G rank will push it to a point where you just can't make it anymore. If that makes any sense. Like, it's gonna make it too expensive to have a node. And that's why, on Base, it just sounds like it works best because they're putting all the pressure on Base to be the new Ethereum. So it's just like a strategic, logical look at it. But you see here, this is what I was talking about before. You see the pulse in OPZen's G rank, and how all of a sudden now it's like staticky. So now you can see what I'm talking about with this alpha here. Of if you want to get the best, you need to be the G rank master, and you have to stay at it. You can't quit. Like, whoever was doing this, they did it for hella long. July 12, 24. So yeah, from September 23 to July 24, they were doing a simulated G rank increases, right? And that's what I mean by, like, you could essentially program the G rank to work in your favor if you have access to actual people who can make the G rank for you. Bring in capital is what I'm trying to get at. Like you're, because you can't do it yourself unless you have the ETH, and then you're your own difficulty. Because why are you burning your ETH to go against yourself? If that makes any sense, that's where it's like you are always your own difficulty. You need other people to increase the difficulty to make it easier for you. Every single fucking Zen project is like that. That is the ethos. And then the fairness is just what we build into like the smart contract, just so that you can bring that difficulty to life. That's why everyone's overlooking Zen. Like they don't understand that's the proof of concept, that we can make a system that is in crypto where the human is always going against themselves. They're always the difficulty. And then like think of like real world, right? Like you are your worst enemy. You are the one that's gonna tell yourself to go to eat some. I'm gonna fucking say it, because fuck it, we're real. I'm a real person. I got some McDonald's breakfast this morning. I was mad as fuck, but I was hungry and I didn't want to clean my pans. So I did a first world thing. Said fuck it, man. I'm gonna go get a reward from the McDonald's app. Fuck it. But I haven't eaten fast food all month, 15 days basically, and I fucked up because I'm a humanoid. Long story short, yeah, everything is I am my own difficulty. You know, going to a gym is another way to think of that. Learning something new is another way to think of that. Like everything that gets you to the next step, the next era, you versus you, is always going to be the thing that you have to discover, rip apart, and put back together, right? So that is kind of like something that needs to be embodied in the distribution of the crypto. That's the only reason Bitcoin worked. So because you couldn't just access the network, right, with hash cash, the hash cash you needed to send a fee. The fee was dynamic based on traffic on the servers. So somebody would send a little bit more fee so they could get the email a little bit faster. If, increase the tip, natural shit. Right. And that's what you build into Bitcoin to kind of get that economy version of the proof of work system to go along with we found the password. Like we found the password that won't be a double spend, we found the hash that won't be a double spend, that we can share with each other, and we can open it up and it'd be safe. We can put this on a public ledger. We can open it up and it could be safe. And then we can decrypt from there. Right. Now we're in this crazy crypto world, bro. Fuck. Oh my God. Right. But again, the difficulty in this one, and why, like, you know what I'm saying? Why didn't our POW work then? Right. When you mix it with the economy, the thought that hey, what if somebody does want to tip somebody a little bit more to get there? Right. So what do? Right. You build that tip in Bitcoin into the hash rate. So now people think they're getting a tip by getting in early. So they start mining the Bitcoins, pushing up the hash rate. Right. Nobody's really there. Just a fun game, hashing game, kind of similar to XENblocks. Not a lot of people there. Just a bunch of others that like to grab Argon 2 passwords out the sky and hash them into something that's encrypted, that you can send a link to someone and say, hey, look, I found this block. It's in the ledger in the sky with a time on it. Right. And this difficulty, again, the same thing in XENblocks. You can't get more space or more edge in the pool, right, without pushing the difficulty against yourself. If I show up with 64 GPUs, the fucking difficulty is gonna skyrocket. If I show up with 100 GPUs, the difficulty is gonna skyrocket, and then that's gonna stop me from making a lot of XNM, because now my machines have to work harder because I brought more machines. I'm my own fucking enemy, right? So the best way to play XENblocks is with the world, because the world, you can be like, hey, motherfucker, tell your whole village to join. You too, motherfucker, tell your village to join. And now we're decreasing the difficulty in XENblocks to get the fucking coins out and have more economical energy included so everybody has a fair version of it. Right? That's all Bitcoin did, man. We redoing that shit right now. The difficulty, it has to be built into the human, not into the code. Right? The code needs to encourage the difficulty. And that's kind of what I mean by Argon 2 is memory hard. It encourages difficulty because like, oh shit, when this goes to 100, it's so hard to get to the Argon 2. And then it increases another difficulty incentive, right? It goes, oh, and then it cuts itself in half every fucking year. It has an epoch and it gets cut in half. And now you're like, oh shit. So you mean when it's at 100 difficulty and it's cut in half, I'm getting less? What? Right? Now you're your own difficulty because you're already thinking about what you're missing out on, right? So the code is just as important as the action. But the action, bruh, you being your own difficulty, that's how you fucking do Bitcoin, okay? And I'm sold on this theory now because the C rank also has the same difficulty discovery, right? One is XEN, one is XEN. XEN is the proof of work version of XNT. XEN is the proof of concept, I guess you could say, or just a burn coin, whatever you want to put on it. It's the one. XEN is the one, and X1 is the XEN. But again, the problem with XEN is it's gonna live a challenging life with a lot of upside as people discover, like, again, where they are in crypto. And that where am I is the comprehension that the G rank is your difficulty. And the ideology, again, where does it say to me that I am my own difficulty? If the G rank isn't going up massively at these G rank levels, right? Because we're essentially back at zero, because now everyone is starting to see or recalibrate like their difficulty level in the Zen world, where they're like, am I buying it or am I minting it? Because of the gas on Ethereum, which is the biggest weight burner, right? You're spending 17 cents on base and you're spending like $50 at low times for Zentarion on Ethereum. It's a little bit better to understand than like when gas was like $1,000 on Ethereum and 17 cents on base. So I'm going off of ETH, and I think they're teaching us something new. They're saying this is the new normal. Get used to it. Gas might not go up too much. They might be able to deploy resources now to mitigate gas that we don't know about. And it's just like it's all part of the business logic. It doesn't matter. The chain got to run, right? Fuck it. So gas is, again, G rank is only you. There's nothing against you, but you could also put the gas there, which is there on purpose. So you see the difficulty in the physics of Ethereum. Like if you know the physics of Ethereum, you can see how hard it could be to push the G rank. And that's a free narrative inside of the Zen world. Gas can go up, so less Zen is made. But then people will have to learn that part, that yes, less Zen is made when gas goes up, but less Zen is also made when you make a bunch of Zen at low gas. Or like claims. Like when people make a bunch of claims, they dilute themselves now. So you see how like it died out on Ethereum and then it exploded, right? When it exploded, it needs to keep it constant. Zen works best when it's performing at a high ratio of G ranks per day. The reason for this is because there can be inflation, and that inflation can be sold on the DEX, and people can sell that. Well, like what the cycle should be is that you mint Zen, you sell Zen, you get ETH, you burn it again. Right? That would be one cycle. The other cycle is you mint Zen, you get Zen, you stake it. You mint Zen, you hold it. Right? But a lot of people have been selling it back into the original coin. And that's kind of why, again, Zen is better than all the original coins, all the original natives. So it makes more sense to inject now, because the question is where's the more where do I have the most upside? right? Or am I just fanning? Like, am I into Avalanche because I'm a fan, or am I in Avalanche because I want upside, like everyone really talks about? So if that's the case, you want upside, then you would want to participate in the project on Avalanche with the most upside, right? And goes right back to the G ring. Right now, everybody could run there, but they fucked everyone. So just be cautious, right? You could run the Avalanche right now. The G rank is like mad low. Gas is hella low. But if everybody pumps it and doesn't stay consistent, then when you make, like, those who made the mint, they're not going to be far away from that global rank when their mints are due, right? Because you want the global rank to expand so that you get more Zen per mint when you went ham, right? That's how, again, the system thrives when there's activity, whether it's from the chain or people going for the G rank to get into X1 chain, right? Because that's all it is now. You're gonna make G ranks to burn Zen, because I highly doubt you're gonna be able to buy it for a good price once it's gone. Once it sends, like right now we're like in the beginning, so I'm trying to talk about post Zen, but in today's world, yeah, Zen is definitely profitable to like get into and swing, and you know, you're at the bottom again. Like we've done this here on the channel, but just to put it in perspective, since we're really talking or deep in the game now with the mint formula. Woo, man, if you've been following crypto, bro, we've really been diving in on this mint shit. I'm sorry, I haven't been reading the chat. I'm just going crazy right now. OG Zen, what y'all talking about? OG Zen. What about V Zen from Zenify? The real dead Zen. Lols. Yeah, no, that one's super dead. You can't even revamp that one though, because the V Zen, they have the admin key for it. So that one's not even fun. And the only reason I say they have the admin key is because the liquidity pool that was created. So you know how we're making, or how you're making the liquidity pool for X burn? They made sure that admin key for that pool was theirs. And like now, like that's why VZen is like going up in price, but you can't sell it because you need access to that admin pool. And that's them. They're like, they're doing something over there. Fucking Zen, them motherfuckers. But yeah, so real quick, if we do the calculator and we have one day, and that's what I'm saying, like let's say we're doing Zen on ETH. There's like on average right now it looks like around 31,000, because you will see, like, again, you can go to ZenPub, you can come down here, you can see, oh, but on February 8th 159 people or 59,000 wallets were made, right? But you'll see here, well, just the day after it was only 47, right? And then it had a couple up days, right? And yesterday we closed out at 76,000 VMUs. But today looks like we had 17,000. You know, it's not like that's what I mean. People aren't waking up and making coffee anymore, if we want to call it that. Like nobody's really waking up and saying, "Oh, I got to mint some Zen." And that's a natural fatigue of the difficulty of some of us going against each other, or ourselves, let's just say. Like we've all been really trying to figure it out, whether you've been selling or buying or minting and selling. And, you know, again, you've just been here for so long. You've been trying it out. You're your own difficulty. So you've naturally become fatigued, and all the numbers are starting to show. And that's why it's like, yo, if you're betting on the G rank, you should be betting on 2x, 3x. And if you can see like what I'm seeing, how hard it would be to do that. Again, like a way I've been trying to do it is with like a calculator. So like I guess like 100 or 850 days has gone by, I think, on ETH Zen. Let me see something. So we have 7,166 divided by 850. I think that's how many days have passed. Yeah, that's what it's doing. Yeah. So it's like 31. 31,000 G ranks essentially is the average of G ranks per day. I have it on my calculator right here, but you could do the same thing. Like you just take the G rank and then subtract the amount of time since Genesis, and then you should just be asking yourself, can it do that again? Right? It need to make 31,000 G ranks every day just to redo this. So then you need to times that, in my personal opinion, by 3. So 95,000 G ranks is what Ethereum would need to be doing on average to get the same results that we've had over the last 2 years in your 400 days or whatever the fuck that shit is. What is it? Yeah, 470 days. And then what would happen is that since everybody came in to go crazy on it, yeah, so now I can times that 900. Let's see what the G rank would be after 470 days. So that would, that would get you to 44 million. But you would need to do it in 470 days. And again, that's what's fucked up. Is like as people add every 100,000 G ranks, the days go out further. So the difficulty gets harder because now you got to wait longer. Oh yeah, it's every 1 million G ranks, right? Maybe it's 1 million. And then this goes up. So yeah, that's what I mean. Zen's their tokenomics are showing left and right. Everywhere you look, it doesn't really make any sense to mint it right now. It makes more sense to buy it when you remove the emotion and you're trying to stay in motion with Zen. You're being too emotional if you're still minting without this discretion in your process. In my personal opinion, that's why I stopped minting on Ethereum, even though like gas is like crazy low. I just been DCAing into these lows, you know, appreciating the the 1 billion Zen at under $150. You know, somebody today was saying like, oh, watch Zen drop a 0 to 7, and I was like, yo, if Zen drops a 0 to 713, that means I'm getting $1 billion for $13. Like the people in Zen be so brain dead, like they're acting like there isn't money invested into every single chain. Like that's what the whole explanation is right now, that we're gonna eat these chains alive because they're better off with an app like Zen on their chain. Like they're better off including us rather than excluding. Yeah, market surging right now. Let's go. I'm bullish. I'm helping the market pop off because I'm being bullish right now. Lols. Will Zen be on Sonic? I don't think so. Like, what do you call it? Zen, it lives on Fantom. And that's what I'm saying. You've been rugged. Yo, you've been rugged. If you really went heavy on Fantom, you should be pissed the fuck off because they rugged you. Because Zen will not be on Sonic because they changed the C rank nature. Right? The nature of the C rank, the nature of the difficulty of your FTM or your FM Zen is on the upper chain, which only has 26 validators now, but it's still moving blocks. That's why, like, you know, I'm not going to count them out, you know, because it is, you know, it's easy for people to pick it up and run because it's a quorum of nodes. You know, and it's gonna exist. Like that's the problem with or that's why Sonic needs to absorb the FTM so they can move on. Right? The longer people keep their shit over in this world, like that's what I mean. Like the longer you keep playing with Zen over here, the more you disrupt their migration. So they're leaving you behind. T-Law. I hear a lot of people saying that, like, when is Zen gonna go on Sonic? But it's not gonna go there because they changed the state. That's the problem. It's a phantom design flaw. But they'll probably try to mask it like it's Zen's fault. Maybe they'll figure out this isn't the community for them. Oh, are people trying to jump in and add their own flavor? But now, yeah, this is Zen space now, man. We're talking high level Zen shit because this shit is gonna change everything. And there's a lot of goofy people in the space that think they know what's going on. And it's not to say you're goofy. It's just that you don't have it under the same maximum as others. And like some of us, we really want to put this shit all on the line. You can't be putting shit on the line with a bunch of stooges running shit, man. Right? Like, yeah. I'm the only person talking about G-Rank. That's the proof of concept that they're about to sell to VCs. And you're dumping your Zen. It's like, damn. You know? And that's kind of why, again, in the same goes, you need people educating people about the G-Rank, because also you got a bunch of people telling people to mint, and minting is not the best way to go. You're going to wreck those people. You'd be giving them more advantage if they had a bleed, if they let it bleed a little bit. Everybody letting Zen bleed right now is going to win. Right? Every morning we're waking up and it's bleeding, and then it recovers. Just like this. Actually since September, this is exactly what Zen has been, besides that little sell-off because we weren't looking at the G-Rank. And again, and what I'm thinking here is there's background users that have Ethereum nodes and they know what's coming. And they're front running us because like we're on the surface, like we don't have a node, right? Like I'm saying with the whole like storage thing, like I can't figure out the storage on Base without running a node. So imagine how much more data I would have on Ethereum if I had a node at the crib. So yeah, everybody's on the same page now. I'm 100% sure everyone is on the same page now. You're going to be left the fuck behind if you're not understanding what is yours, right? The free information that you're getting from Zen is this fucking G-Rank. Everything else costs money. Everything else costs money. It actually is a fact. You can create a G-Rank for no money, but if you make enough of those, them pennies gonna add up. And that's why I'm like, yo, I can't believe there's not more people pissed the fuck off about Fantom rugging them. Like, they full-blown rugged you in your face. That's why I minted on like 7 chains. Yeah, you had to like space it out, I guess, if you wanted to do something like that. And that's why, again, like you got to ask yourself, at least if you're coming to the Crypto Bro channel, the job is not done. Okay. Like I said, we're going to pop confetti 100 fucking times, 1,000 fucking times. We might hit 100,000 confetti pops in this motherfucking next few years of X1 growth. So it's not about the confetti pop. All right. It's about making each one more intense. Eventually, it's the confetti pop with fucking fireworks and drones spitting fucking sparklers down, throwing X1 up in a forbidden land over some pyramids. Yeah, that's how we do it. Dreaming huge type shit. But yeah, because again, we're gonna eat these chains alive. None of them can compete with X1 chain. It's a written fact. Go read the white paper. I don't even need to go back and forth on that shit. All of these are running EVM. And again, I want to love Zen like it's the next Bitcoin. But it's nurturing that existence. It's nurturing it more than it is it. So you got to remove that emotion, right? Remove that E and get in motion with your Zen. Figure out what you're doing next. Are you staking it? You know, am I accumulating? Because we're not stopping here, right? You got this fool Tree City West about to drop the burner game on CBZN yesterday, and people taking us so not serious. I was expecting it to pop off, and then they were selling it, and I was like, oh, they're not taking us serious. Because there's only a few people that got the things. But I noticed someone minted out all of the legends yesterday on Base Chain, which is very fascinating. I was just talking about how important it was if you're gonna mint, like the only thing worth minting is an Apex. And then last night somebody went and minted out all the rest of the legendaries. Oh shit. And all of the rest of the epics. Fuck, only rares left? Man. Only rares. Yo, let's mint these out. Let's mint out these rares. I might have to bring over some Zen just to do it. Just to mint out the rares and get all the Apex out of out the system before X1 is live. Cause yeah, that's the best thing you can get. I mean, you can get limited too. Well, I really wouldn't do a limited. Limiteds, think of that as just like a way to burn Zen, cause there's no cap on it. You can put as much Zen as you want into the burn, and like that's what some people like you can like. I was thinking like you could do like a funny ass thing like boobless or something like that. Like, you know, like a boobless or whatever. Where you flip it upside down or some shit like that. Like you could do some shit like that. Like you can make funny. I guess you can't do boobless. I guess you gotta do more on top. I don't know. You can think of it. Make a message in the numbers or some shit. I don't know. And then maybe somebody will pick it up. You can figure that part out. What up, Art? Be Zen and let me express my views. You're free to express your counter arguments too. I was being respectful to everyone. Oh. What happened, Art? Oh, y'all said about timeouts. Not a democracy. Oh, hell nah. Yeah. You get blocked up. You start talking like you're a politician in here. Fuck democracy, man. Come in with your raw ideas, and if they're fucking weird, you're gonna get muted. Time out. I'm sorry. That's why the real ones have the wrenches. I've already done that part. I made sure I wrenched all the homies that have been here. They know where we're driving this ship. But yeah, that's what it's going, guys. We're changing the way that people talk about Zen. At least I am. I'm gonna do my part and again continue to articulate, because the next thing that is to be looked at is the staking. And why isn't Ethereum #1 staker? Like, that's how you know ETH.POW is might be a good one, because people seem to get it over there. Like, they know they stake in, they come in, they say what's up. I just don't go over there. But it's a fork. Okay. It's up to you to figure out what you want to believe. But ETH.POW supposedly is a fork of Ethereum before 2.0, or right at the 2.0, and it was a group of colluded nodes that decided to create Ethereum POW. So they're not necessarily, I don't know if they're from the foundation or whatever, but it's just a bunch of people, you know, keeping the dream alive of when ETH was on proof of work. So, you know, again, they probably love Zen, and Zen might be a good home on their chain, again, to help nurture the price. You can use Zen as a node producer to nurture your price, because you're holding all the coins while everybody else burns them. If you give Zen a good price, they'll come and burn the fucking coins. So that's the clockwork. That's why I'm bullish on CBZen, because they would never push that narrative. They would tell us to build on base. They would actually encourage it, not knowing what the fuck they're doing. And that's why it's like funny. You know, like they wouldn't really know it until it starts to like fuck their disc up. And then they're like, hey man, like it's like a quarter shows up and they're like, how much money are we spending on disk space? And they're like, fuck, we need some better business logic on that shit, right? And then we'll see what they do at that point, because the bad business logic would be canceling CBZen, in my personal opinion. But if base is so big that it doesn't matter, that's the risk I'm taking, because my CBZen could become, well, it wouldn't become worthless, but it's going to do better in a burn than it would, you know, than it would me believing it's going to go and change like everything, you know, like it would really like, it would really put it all back on Ethereum. Like it would, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm hyper focused on this one, because the resistance to the G rank is fun. It's actually funner. and it being out for as long as it's been out, and now we're here at the 0 point at 114 million. Again, this is really easy to pump. You can see here the average is around 200 users after you. So like on a 1 day, oops, on a 1 day. That's your 45 VMUs. 6 million for 1 day. But yeah, this is why I was saying the Zen game that I don't think people will be able to not do, and this is the demise of all the chains, because they're public bathrooms. They decided to be public because they want the money. So this is something they have to suffer with or scale. All right. And this is why Zen thrives in these moments, because if the token is accessible, it increases the value of the token's like attention. So like right now, in a day's worth of time, you're not minting in profit, right? If I mint 24 hours, I'm spending basically $2 on base and not getting $2, right? And then if I do the math on where I get $2, right now, I gotta, because this user thing really isn't increasing, right? Again, you missed the wave. The early participants were the ones that got the most, and if they held, they won heavy. But like, let's say I add 100 days. Right. At 100 days, I still don't meet the requirements of a 24-hour mint. And then let's say I add another 100 days. So we'll go to 200 days. All right. Now at 200 days, I'm slightly there. If I can catch this again on a nighttime, you know, I could get a round trip. Again, that's what I'm saying. The round trip is the claim and the mint. And right now is a good time to look at this because the sun is up here on the East Coast, and that's when everybody's on chain. So this is considered high gas right now. This is the new high gas, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like a 10x change in price on base than it is on Ethereum type shit. But like, let's add another 300 days and see another 100 days and see if we hit parity. So we add another 100 days and we still not there. All right, fine. Let's wait a whole fucking year to get this goddamn cent. Right? And then just then I'm barely there. So this is the narrative right here. This is actually what all the side chains are looking to do. And this is the fear in all of these other chains and why they want to dumb it down. Because if you came through and realized like what this is before X1, and you know, like, that's what I'm saying. Yo, the point of Zen Network is for there to be C ranks made every second. It's designed that way. The reason for that, oh yeah, this is all flowing in now. So after all this monologue, this is why it's designed this way and why the Google guy came up with the idea. All right. I had asked this thing, now that I know, like, oh, we're all doing difficulties. I'm like, yo, why would somebody from Google like think of this idea? And then like, is there anything in computer science? I asked it, is there anything in computer science that's relatable to this formula? Like, why in computer science would we need this? Right. And then, yeah, see, I was like, yeah, how could this relate to scale? Right? Because what it was is, when you look at this, it's like, how is this common in computer science? Right? In computer science, you have load balancing. So when Jack was building they're scaling Google, he had to scale their load balancing from 0, which is the system that distributes work to avoid overloading. Right? Cloud computing shares similar philosophies to managing resources used for participation growth. So he's already done the load balancing of making sure that people can participate and grow with the system's distribution, right? Rate limiting, APIs or services that throttle requests based on user load to prevent abuse or congestion. Adaptive algorithms that adjust to parameters based on system load. I'm gonna say it again. Algorithms that adjust parameters based on system loads. Shares a similar adaptive principle. All right. Examples in practice. Bitcoin and proof of work currencies. They annul this experience when mining difficulty scales with the hash rate at maintaining 10-minute block time. Right. That's the load balancing on Bitcoin. That's the load balancing on XENblocks. That's the load balancing on the G rank. Because you can't beat that part. It's coded into the fucking smart contract. And then because I was like, I'm like, yo, he had this figured out. Like he came with a fucking book. He knew. He knew, like, yo, I'm about to drop on their head on them. And they're not even gonna get it. Like nobody's gonna even get it. So like I asked it, I forgot when Jack said he worked at Google, but I threw it in. I said, hey, the homie helped build the Google servers between 1999 and 2006. Like, what do you think? What do you think was the I was trying to, let me see what I said. I was like, yeah, how can I relate this to scale? My CS friend helped Google scale their server infra from 1999 to 2006. Seems he's bringing some of the old school CS to the crypto programming world. I'm so curious why, right? And I love GPT because this is how I prompt GPT. Like I'm having a conversation to try to gel it up to, not necessarily give me what I want, but be aligned with my intuition. So yeah, it kind of put this into perspective. Like, okay, during the period of Google was rapidly growing and facing massive scaling challenges, right? Search quantum volumes, handling millions of queries a day required distributing the load across all servers, right? That's the number one thing it says. And this distribution thing, man, it says so much that I started looking at the XEN, like for real. I started looking at it and I'm like, wait a second. This is how you distribute like the incentive across all blockchains. Because like if you like one of the problems with the release of a blockchain is everyone's going through one checkpoint. And that's bad for distribution. So it's almost like you needed to invent the XEN as the distribution gas coin so you could really dilute the distribution of fairness. So not everyone is, that's what I mean. It's so fair that even the idiot was smart. Right. And that's so crazy to see it in this fashion, because now we know, all right, X1 is distributed in the name of XEN. And that's why it's a great distribution system for scale. Because now a human can go to Pulse Chain. They can go to Optimism. They can be on Base. They can be on Fantom. They can be on Polygon, Avalanche. And they're going to find their way into X1 chain with no friction. Now, what might be the friction? The server that you're on. They might have rugged your ass and went and made Sonic. And and this is why you're moving to X1. So this never happens again. So if you have them Fantom coins, you got Fantom distribution, play the game right, because you got the most power in the whole game, to be honest, to do whatever you want, because you got a lot of XNT distribution on that ledger. Right now you can see where I'm going with this. All of the liquid and stake supply. This is the distribution for X1 chain. That's why it's like, actually, you do want to go and scoop as much as you can, because there's a cap on the distribution, because you can't increase it as much as where we are now. Now that the white paper's out, you got to launch a whole PSYOP to pump the G rank. That's how you stop the bottleneck. What a fucking damn. He was like, yo, the search volume on how sexy X1's going to be is crazy. We need to make sure that shit is embedded in a token called XEN. Because they're going to search for X1. They're going to find XEN first. Yo, shout out to Jack. But I don't know if they thought of it like this, but, he's good at operations. And he's done it before. So he knows what he needs. He knows the enemy already. And he knows how he has to massage the enemy, which is the server. The server is actually the enemy. That's the real difficulty for all users, right? Because that's what we're interacting with. Even right now, like my latency is based on YouTube servers. That's why Google bought YouTube, right? You know, like isn't that the whole thing? Oh man, I can't watch Netflix. The server went down. Right. So crypto is in the same essence because your validator set is your servers. And if you don't run the validator set to be profitable or scalable, then essentially you're making dead server space. And that's how crypto's been working for like the last 15 years. They've just been spinning up servers and there's nothing of value going through them because people are still agreeing that the Bitcoin server is the most valuable. Right. And you could, and again, I would almost say if you apply it to this distribution theory, it's been hard for people to redistribute the like knowledge of the server, like what the original reason the server was invented of crypto. Like it's been really hard for others that understood it in the beginning to really understand the next era. And again, we know they're here. Like all the Bitcoiners are into Solana. Makes you want to look at the Solana chart right now versus Bitcoin just to see if it's like on some sexy shit. Let's just see. But yeah, you want to have a good relationship with the Bitcoiners. And again, that the Bitcoin did nothing more than help shrink the search query volume of what is crypto, right? I always say like you can go anywhere in the world and say, like, think of it like that. Okay, I said this to you yesterday. Yo, coin this shit, homie. If an RPC gets you the blockchain on a MetaMask wallet, then your brain is the RPC to the universe. And you can search as fast as you want in your mind. And that's kind of why technology needs to be a reflection of how fast your mind works. And this is why the importance of the distribution of load across the servers is highly important, because if it changes or if there's any noise, it's going to disrupt the file, essentially, right? Think of the file as Bitcoin. It's really hard to disrupt the word Bitcoin, and it has so much search inside of it. The volume of search in the word Bitcoin, Jesus, like open up Pandora's box, right? But it's almost like designed that way. It's by, you know what I mean? Like by design, Bitcoin is the largest object, the largest server, the biggest distribution of the mindset. It comes from Bitcoin. And we haven't been able to reproduce that because there's too much, again, biz nasty logic on the blocks from every angle. From every angle. It's disgusting at this point. But whatever. Data storage and relativity. Indexing the web and servers results fast required efficient distribution storage. So that's why I'm starting to talk about storage, because that was something we ran into on Fantom. And that's why on X1 you need to have 4 terabytes in the node, which means, and we might increase it in the future. So like X1 is really built to scale. Like it's built to increase the processing threads. It's built to increase this data storage. It's again, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's the best chain out. Once it's out, like it's fucked for everybody else. Fault tolerance. Servers fail, so the system had to be resilient to hardware failures. MAP introduced in 2004 for parallel processing. So like, yeah, Jack helped make that shit too. Resources allocation. As more users hit Google servers, they needed to balance load to prevent bottlenecking to ensure low latency. Like he's already seen 1,000. I mean, okay, I used to work at the Apple store during the iPhone era. My first iPhone I worked Apple at was fucking iPhone 4S, bro. I'll never forget seeing so many people in a small space, and it was all from China, so they could send the phone back to China, dropping bag. And there was corruption. I'll never forget working at the Apple store, being a little kid, and my manager making me do the corrupt shit for the money for the spot, because we need to hit 500,000 in the day. And it's there, it's available, right? Like this is like the dynamic fees. Like the motherfuckers are there, they want to give us the money. How do we maximize them wanting to give us the money? Right? That's what I mean. Like you need to learn how to balance the bottleneck, and that's all interpretation in UX. And he's already done that shit. Key principles from this era your friend likely worked on. load balancing, distributing traffic across servers, right? Sharding, splitting data across multiple servers to manage growth, right? Splitting the searches, splitting the search indexes by geographic or query type, right? More indexing into the space, which again, that's why we wanted the highest level of blockchain of today to drop X1 chain to help with sharding. So you don't have to develop new sharding skills. Just jump on board with whoever the fuck has decided this is the best way for us to divide data. Like, okay, thanks, Tolly. Right. And again, I know why Tolly is doing the sharding the way he's doing it, because he wants it to go on the phone. The phone is his destination. He wants to put the NASDAQ in your fucking living room on your cell phone. Okay. That's his game. Mixing it with the server god who can understand how to prevent bottleneck load. This is going to be one of the most massive blockchains ever to be released. Redundancy and replication, duplicating data across servers to handle failures and improve access speed. Nice. Dynamic scaling, adding or removing servers based on demand, often manually in the early days, but later automated. Congestion control, preventing overuse of shared resources, bandwidth, CPU, as users' demand grows. And then it goes, the parallels between the crypto token design. Your friend's token design, where difficulty increases as users join, mirrors these scaling principles that apply to the decentralized incentive system, decentralized incentivized systems. Here's how the Googlers' experience likely influenced their work in crypto. Load balancing is similar to incentive balancing. At Google, load balancing ensured no single server would be overwhelmed by requests. In crypto, increasing token difficulty as users join prevent the network from being overloaded by too many participants chasing rewards. Straight up, like they built in you chasing the rewards. Man, it's crazy. Here's the example. Just as Google distributed queries across servers to avoid bottleneck, their token systems distributed difficulty to avoid reward dilution or decentralization. So that's what I mean by we're spreading around the difficulty. So it's not all on Ethereum, but Ethereum is like the anchor so that you know where you are in the desert, essentially. It's like everything is a mirage, but the ETH is in, right? And then maybe after X1 chain, after the distribution of X1 has been released and there wasn't such a bottleneck for one token and it was spread out, now, people probably go back to the bottleneck coin if they're feeling like there's more incentive there. But it allows those who don't have the ability to be in the bottleneck. Now, I would say that's anybody who doesn't have money to afford to lose anything. That's why it's been 2 years. That's why there's a whole bunch of XENs. That's why it's hard to understand, because you're actually being distributed to the X1 ledger at your own speed. That's why some of us feel like we're in the fucking future, because we've been so distributed. X1, I got X1 falling out of my armpits. Like, I jumped into this distribution model fucking quick. Right? I didn't know where I was, but I knew it was going into one pipeline. Shit. And I'm glad that it's the Google guys. Sharding, decentralized resource allocation. Google shards its indexes to handle massive data growth. In crypto, increasing difficulty as the network grows is likely sharding rewards. It focuses users to compete harder for limited tokens, preventing any single group from dominating. Right, and I'm saying, like, these are basic things in crypto, but you can see his level of attention at Google can't compare to anybody else's level of attention, in my personal opinion. Like, you got to tell me you were also in the room with him, apprentice. I might be Nick. But congestion control, network stability at Google. Congestion control prevented servers from being overwhelmed by traffic spikes in their token system, raising difficulty as a congestion control mechanism is discouraging users from flooding the network with new participants, which can whatever. But this is just like, again, this is just trying to relate like something he would have had to deal with and how it could have applied to like a reason or like a whiteboard thought, like we need to mimic this because this worked for us, right? We need to figure out how that works in this. Dynamic scaling, adaptive tokenomics. That's kind of how I think. That's what the G rank is. It's an adaptive tokenomic. A lot of projects don't have adaptive context because they don't think about it. Some of them do tax tokens. That's like the freebie. You do a tax token. You hook up 1% and you let someone, or you hook up like the PTGC. You hook up 6% and you let the algo figure it out. Right? You hit them with the tax. Not here. Here you are the tax. Like the more you decide to try to brute force the adaptive tokenomics, the more it fights against you by design. And then it's trying to get to work with you, in my personal opinion. That's what it is. Like people who want to really work with the adaptive tokenomics, they'll massage that experience. And that's, again, how we come to the conclusion that everybody in Zen is playing their own game. Nobody is actually following each other. You're adapting to tokenomics on your own plane. You might be in a group of people because for some reason you decided to be in a group. But eventually, if you break out of that group, you'll notice that you'll stay afloat. Like, it's not like you're going to, like, in crypto world today, like if you get kicked out of the alpha chat, you're more than likely going to sink, right? But like in Zen with the adaptive tokenomics, you're more likely to actually sail free because it's just going to, as long as you pay attention to the G rank, pay attention to the system, adapt to its tokenomics, you'll find where you need to be. Straight up. Fault tolerance, resistant to centralization. This is where we are today. The reason why I can talk with a whole chest that Zen is here to eat alive every chain that it's on is because I know this part. Resilience to centralization. In order for us to be centralized, we have to go to zero. All cards have to be shown. We have to go to zero. We got to start a new S curve for a new group of people. It's built into Zen though. Unlike another token where you usually got to make a new token to get the S curve back. Like in Zen, you just wait until the G rank is big enough and everybody's dust settles and you can mathematically formulate, oh, let's pump this shit, right? Whether it's price, there's so many variables or adaptive tokenomics that you can pick out of the Zen world to create value, right? But that's why we're not focused on centralization. It's adaptive. It can't be centralized because even if you have all the coins, the moment you sell, you got to redo it again, which is, I mean, I don't have the number on it, but it's very unlikely. Right. And we always go back. I just got to say, you could say right now, you could be sitting in that chair, crypto, bro, I'll get all the ETH. And I would love to see you do that. The only people I'm thinking that got everything is the Polygon motherfuckers, the Binance motherfuckers, the Pulse chain. People got Pulse chain, bro. They got Pulse chain. So that's why I like Base. Feels a little bit more fair in the native distribution over there. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up my stream right now, and maybe I'll post some of these things from my discoveries, and I'll be going back and forth with GPT. Just doing my thing, trying to mine out some information. Fix my head. Shit, we've been talking for 2 hours, bro. I gotta shut the fuck up, bro. Dank says I'm here for the tech. What is Shane saying? Shane Ritchie, what's up, bro? I'm too busy to do all that investment in 30 billion coins on a trip from my friend. May get another 20 billion and just forget and come back in a few years and see what's happening. I'm busy with all the other X's. For sure, Shane. That's all right. Get a 20 stack. Get a 20 stack and kick back. That's a fact. You could do that. No rhyme. I'm not even trying to rhyme. You could totally do that if you wanted to. Because again, it's you're adapting to your tokenomics. Like you could have, your 20 billion. I could have my 20 billion, 100 billion. What we won't have is when we sell the ability to get back what we sold unless it's higher. So that's where we have to adapt to each other. We adapt to each other in price, right? So like if you want to just get a stack and kick back and come back when everyone's going to adapt, right? That's 2027. Like you could get Zen right now, stake it for 1,000 days and leave the game and literally come back in 27 and the narrative changed again, right? That's what I'm saying. Like it's built in. We're going to do it again, bro. Another era of S-curve with more Zenergy. So yeah, do whatever you want to do. Yeah, if you're here for the cash, you better make the right fucking decision or you're going to be broke because I'm going to have more money than you. That's just the facts. Like, because that's what I mean. People come here with the strategy you just said, bro. Like, that's like a broke person strategy. But I get it. Like, you think in the way, like, you're thinking with what you can handle. And again, Zen is allowing you to articulate what you can handle. And that's amazing work by the founding team creating this contract. I have posted this. This is actually in line with this right now. Because when you break all that stuff down that I just kind of broke down with you, it summarizes into this that I posted on my X account. X1, oh, you don't see it. Real quick. X1 scaling is technical. It focuses on validation, finality, and throughput. XEN and Zen scaling is social technical. It focuses on users, incentive, and economics. So we are going to watch you tell us what you're doing because you're going to only have that adaptive tokenomic. Like, and if you've been in the Zen world, ain't it kind of fucking weird that people just come and just tell you what the fuck they're doing? Like, you care and shit. Like, it's like, wow, man, you're really adapting to the tokenomics, bro. Or wow, man, you're really trying to find a strategy to the tokenomics, bro. Like, yeah, you should maybe just buy a 20 stack and lay back, Like, I'm glad you came to that conclusion. You feel me? That's what's so funny. Nah, Dank, you can let him ride. Let him ride, man. I'm here for the tech. Then stop being a joke. Chatting too much. See, that's funny. What else is funny is everyone's going to be watching the Crypto Bro channel to try to understand me. But I chat a lot because this is coded. Like Rolando said, this shit is coded, cuz. So if you can't decode it and you think it's chatter, that's all part of the planner. Bow. That's all. I'm not even trying to rhyme right now. This shit's just happening. Zenology 101. Yeah, nah, me and Dank is going to take the team to the top. What's up, Samson? Guide speed. You mint as well some of yourself on base. I keep it minted on base. Dank is a muter. This is not a price prediction room. Deep dives. Oh, okay. So wait, am I getting hated on or are we just being haters? This is the meanest chat in crypto. I'm gonna have to steal it from Richard Hart because he don't even exist. Yo, the funniest thing. Okay, I let me shut the fuck up. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Should we do a space later? Maybe. It's Friday night. It's Valentine's Day. It might be like kind of weird. Doing a space against our bros trying to get it in tonight. Don't want to distract the bros trying to get it in, man. Maybe tomorrow, but I'll be down probably tomorrow to do a space and keep it high level because yeah, this is the last one of these until Monday because we only stream here Monday through Friday around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, going into next week, we'll see where Zen is. We already know it's at its bare bottom. It's been stripped of all of its armor. It is as vulnerable as it wants to be. All right. for both sides. Whether you want to get 30 bill, sell 30 bill, stake 30 bill, mint 30 bill, whatever you're trying to do with your adaptive tokenomics, it's at ease at this particular point. Don't put too much thought into it. Just enjoy your weekend and your Valentine's with your boo. Peace, bitch. Peace up. A-Town down. Dun, 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 dun. Hey. Hey. Astronaut.